Some people believe that grass is better to play on than turf. I think grass may be better in some cases. I would like to explore this topic further and persuade you guys in my same way. I've always wondered why grass is better to play on than turf fields and what the costs of them are. Everyone should know why grass is better than turf. Today I want to discuss the cost of grass and turf, the injuries on grass turf, and the factors such as weather and type of stadium that goes into the decisions. Today in this speech you will learn the reasons why grass should be implemented in every stadium instead of turf. Many believe that turf is more affordable than grass when discussing what a team should use on their field. Grass requires a little bit more maintenance and equipment to install it and keep it from degrading. This is worth the extra cost because of how much better it is for the players. Grass is considered to be a little bit more expensive due to its labor and high upkeep of maintaining its conditions. It costs roughly $24,000 to $28,000 a year depending on the workers and the stadium's location to manage it. According to SafetyHealth.org, the equipment that comes with it can range between $42,800 and $205,500. Once again, this range is based on the stadium's location, which I will further dive into in a later paragraph. Whereas turf is going to cost $23,250 to $12,700, and turf can be used in every stadium. Of the current 30 NFL teams, there are 28 stadiums in between those teams, and 15 of those stadiums use turf, a little over half. The NFL has also ventured to other venues around the world, such as the United Kingdom's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and Germany's Frankfurt Stadium. These two stadiums both feature grass fields, bringing the odds to even with a total of 30 stadiums with half with grass and half with turf. According to Tyler Pultz from Winch Chronicle, if the NFL were to mandate grass for its remaining 15 stadiums, it would only cost $12 million. As the article continues, it makes a good point how it is hard not to change for the NFL, as revenue last year for the NFL was $12 billion. I believe the NFL could easily mandate all grass fields. Some people will look at the cost and say, well, why doesn't the NFL just regulate all turf fields because it's more cost efficient? The reason for that is because there's several injuries every season thanks to the well-known turf monster at this point. It takes out star players and rookies and can end careers. It is also well known that turf-related injuries are non-contact. According to the AP News, there was 4,801 NFL foot and leg injuries between the 2012 and 2016 regular season games. The research found that 16% of the injuries per play on artificial turf compared to grass. The authors conclude that if all games had been played on grass during that period, there would have been 318 fewer foot and leg injuries. Looking only at non-contact injuries, the risk was even higher, about 20% more injuries per play. Based on this image, you can see that turf is highly Based on this graph, it shows that turf has more injuries than grass. The only exception was the lower legs and knees, which was a -3. And that was from the 2017 through 2020 seasons. And the chart clearly shows there's a difference between the turf and grass. Data from the sports and analytics company Sports Info Solutions, which provides data and analysis to pro sports teams and other industry groups, show that 7 of the 10 stadiums with the highest injury counts from 2017 to 2022 had artificial surfaces. These even further proves the point that grass is safer than turf. If you're wondering what makes turf worse than grass, then let me explain. Turf is made from fabrication using synthetic fibers, manufactured to resemble natural grass, and has a base material that stabilizes and cushions the playing surface. Turf is made from harder substances and can be laid on concrete, whereas grass is layered and provides a safer material to fall on or re-tackle on. The Players Association and the players make their opinions known to us. The NFLPA has been an advocate towards grass fields for a long time, even saying there is room for innovation by artificial turf manufacturers, but until the risk of injury on turf mirrors the risk on grass, playing on turf is not the best interest of the players. There was a comment this season by Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, he made the point that I think the last couple of years, studies have come out showing that grass is safer. So I think that's important. He carries on to say that I think the most important thing is having a standard for the turf fields. Having each turf field across the league have a standard, and all of them are the same. Everywhere you go that has turf, each turf is different. I think having a uniformity across the league would be best. And now that I've kind of shown the injury risk and the difference between the grass and turf, I think it's very obvious that grass is easier. Through the Players Association, next I'm going to talk about the factors that go into stadiums. What stadiums get turf and grass. Other factors to consider. There's several factors to consider when deciding what type of field. You want your stadium, you want to look out for like weather and the types of turf and grass field you use. Weather can cause one team to sway to grass or turf based on where the stadium is located. For example, the Green Bay Packers located in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It gets cold in the north every year with winter times, and they use heated lamps across the entire field to keep the grass soft and keep it alive. In Florida, all three of their NFL teams use grass where they can keep it alive with no extra equipment because it's always summertime down there. And whereas stadiums like US Bank and Ford Field use turf, so they don't have to manage that. And then there are different types of turf and grass fields. There are a few different types of turf fields, but they all act the same and are made out of different materials. There's also a mix of grass and turf known as a hybrid field. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of these teams in the NFL that uses it. There are two different types of grass used in the NFL, the Bermuda and Kentucky Bluegrass. Kentucky Bluegrass thrives in spring and fall, where Bermuda grass thrives during the summer heat. This will also change what type of teams use grass and turf. Warmer states that have open stadiums can be warm all year while they use it. Bermuda grass they'll use Bermuda grass because it will thrive there. Turf doesn't get this type of advantage as it is synthetic and cannot change itself to be better. Now that you have the information, I want you to think of the risk with turf and whether these players should play on it. As I've discussed with you, the ways grass is better than turf through injury reports, cost methods, and whether some of the stadiums change the turf fields grass. It'll only be a matter of time before the NFL regulates grass fields as we see year after year more and more star players getting injured.